Hello, Sparkly listener. Welcome back to Ignite Your Spark, the podcast. I'm your host, Kim Duff Selby. And today is a solo episode because it's almost my favorite holiday. That's right, the 4th of July. Well, it's sort of my favorite holiday because we literally light sparklers and share them with someone else to help them ignite their spark, right? And as you probably know, if you've been listening to this, my goal is to assist you in shining brightly. Today, I thought I would begin by telling you what ignites my spark. Here are some things that truly light me up: unexpected texts or calls from my children. My heart literally fills with love when I see their names pop up. It honestly doesn't happen as often as I would like, but they are grown humans now with their own lives, and I appreciate any time I can talk to them. I don't talk about them on the podcast, but I did think that today might be a good day to introduce them to you. I have a daughter who's 33 and lives in Leeds in the UK. And she is a yoga instructor extraordinaire. She is engaged to her soulmate, a wonderful man whom we adore. Our daughter Taylor is passionate, strong, caring, giving, generous, funny, very smart, and amazing. And her soulmate, Dan, is the same way. They are such a beautiful couple. I want to tell you that Dan even flew to the US to ask us permission, as it were, to marry her. And it was really a symbol. And we loved that symbol and appreciated it. And we are thrilled that their journey together will begin soon in October in Greece. I'm very excited about that, of course. Who wouldn't be? I'm more excited because they found each other. My son Tommy lives about 45 minutes away. He's 31, and he is a tattoo artist. He's super creative and very funny, very clever, very witty, and he has a passion for golf. He's also very kind and charming as well. So I, of course, am currently looking for a tattoo and golf loving woman to accompany him on his life journey. Now, I know that's not my responsibility, but he's 31 and I would like him to find love. Okay. I'm a mother, always will be. And, as I said, I never really talk about them. And that's why I thought you might like to know what my offspring are like. Oh, and then there is, of course, my fabulous husband, David. I'm so fortunate. I am so fortunate. And yes, I believe that we choose our soul families, and our siblings and our friends and our friend groups before we incarnate. That's just my woo-woo side. So I'm really glad that we chose each other in this lifetime. He is so kind, so patient, ignites my spark every day, so funny. And did I say patient? Yeah, I needed that. He's kind, loving, he's everything. And I'm a bit much. A bit much to live with, ups and downs and all over the place. I'm a highly sensitive person. I'm loud. I'm silly. I keep coming up with crazy ideas, and he puts up with everything. He puts up with all of my alternative ways. And in turn, I sport his golf habit. We've been married for 34 years, and they have been great years raising our children and navigating life together. And I would not have it any other way. In my gratitude list, which I do say out loud every single day, I am grateful for my family in the morning and at night. 2 times I give great thanks, and whenever I think about it. And that's the fam. Another question I get, though, is people often ask me how I came up with Ignite Your Spark. Well, the first iteration of my business was called Express Yourself and Shine. Well, before that, I had Fashion is Fun when I had a fashion show production company. Always fun, always shiny. And Express Yourself and Shine was great. I did a few workshops under that nomer, under that name. And I've always loved sparkly, shiny things and sparkly, shiny attitudes. I love being around fun, upbeat, happy people, which is kind of why I started Ignite Your Spark. I think that some ideas are downloads and they're just divinely inspired. And I kind of downloaded the idea of Ignite Your Spark 4 years ago. Remember 2020? I put out 45 days of motivational minute videos that I recorded, did them on social media. And I had so many fun responses. People were really grateful because we just didn't know where the world was going. I just knew that we needed some fun and inspiration and joy in our lives. And I was craving connection. I was so tired of the negativity in the world and the underlying fear. So I created a class called Ignite Your Spark. This was in May of 2020, and I gathered 14 women, mostly friends. And for 4 weeks, I led them through exercises to help them connect with each other and to help them ignite their sparks in a time when the world was facing so much uncertainty. The class went well. It was really fun. And shortly after that, I decided it was time to start my own podcast. I had been co-hosting a podcast every other month for about a year for the Three Tomatoes, which is an online presence that celebrates women who aren't kids. And it's got a fun and really informative free insider's lifestyle guide covering the best of New York City, LA, and San Francisco. And I've been writing the San Francisco edition for the past 9 years. And I really love sharing about things to do in the Bay Area. There's so many great things here. And someone else writes the Los Angeles, and then our head tomato writes the New York City and national edition. And I'll leave a link that you can sign up for that if you want to below. So I knew that I really liked podcasting because I had been doing a little bit of it and decided, you know what? I really want to find my own guests and interview them and do it more often. And in September of 2020, on my birthday that year, I launched this podcast. I didn't know where it was going. I just knew that I wanted to bring more light to the world. I just had to do it. You know how when you know, I just had to do it. So I learned how to edit. I recorded on Zoom, which I still do, gathered some guests, and Ignite Your Spark, the podcast, was born. I have had such a wonderful time with all of my guests. They are what ignite my spark. I've learned about the Akashic records, nutrition, human design, astrology, quantum healing, and so much more. I think I'm on 158 episodes now. And certainly I can't remember that far back, but they're all online. And I can't remember all of them, but I just loved connecting. I really love conversations. So many of them have written books too. And I try to read every single book because how can I have a conversation with someone if I don't know what they've written? I love it. I also love all things woo, of course, and constantly want to improve my health in a natural way. And I want to become a better human. So I'm a self-development junkie. I literally could take class after class after class. However, I did have my Akashic records read actually a few times, and every time it says, I am meant to teach and not hide behind always being a student. It's so much easier to take classes than to teach. I mean, I have no problem speaking in public, but I have that little voice in the back of my head that says, who are you? Who are you to talk to people? What do you know? And I have to work really, really hard on releasing that voice and believing in myself. Because if I'm going to tell you to believe in yourself, I have to believe in myself as well. So I know that I have things to share with you. I attended my first seance at the age of 5. That's right. I grew up in a spiritualist home. So I always knew that there was something beyond what we could physically see, feel, hear, and touch. However, I kept that hidden for much of my life. I was in the spiritual closet, as many people were, until pretty recently. I've been out, okay, for a while now, but a lot of people are still in the spiritual closet, and more people are coming out into the light now. That's how I like to refer to it. I was always told that we have a still small voice inside. In addition to being a spiritualist and believing in forces and spirits outside of ourselves, I also was raised in the Unity Church. It was a very power of positive thinking, and that's how I learned about the still small voice inside. And to me, that is my intuition. And intuition is a subject I love talking about with all of my guests. Most of them utilize their intuition, and we all can. It takes time. It takes time, like strengthening your arm muscles or getting more flexible. Utilizing your intuitive nature takes practice. And I'm going to jump to really what ignites my spark each day and then get back to that. So, I am a natural performer and I can be feeling a little dim, but when I get behind the mic or in front of an audience, I light up. I love connecting. I love laughing. I really enjoy seeing others laugh as well. And I'm okay if they're laughing at or with me. Just laughing is what's important. The other thing is my morning ritual. And I try to grab my hot water and honey and lemon and sit on our gorgeous deck, breathing in the fresh air and feeling the sunshine on my face. Now, I do wear sunscreen. Okay. I just want to be out there and say it's very important, having had lots of things scraped and burned and cut off of me. However, I do try to give myself 10 or 15 minutes of fresh air and sunshine early in the morning when it's not as bad for our skin. There's a lot of sunshine right now where I live in California, but even in the winter when it's foggy or cold, I get outside, wrap myself in a fuzzy blanket, and drink my hot water, honey, and lemon. I sit and I close my eyes and I tune in. And I am grateful. I mean, I have my own little ritual kind of prayer thing that I say. And I also have OCD. I do, I admit it. And I'm worried that if I don't do the same thing every day, something bad will happen. I'm just saying it, putting it right out there. Don't think I've ever said that. So I try, of course, to do the same thing, but I'm also trying to release that fear because that's just a stupid fear, false evidence appearing real. I know. However, each day I do close my eyes and I am grateful. I am grateful for as many things as I can think of. I say them in my mind. I also have a journal where I write down things for which I'm grateful. And I don't do that every day, but I say it every day in the morning and night, things for which I'm grateful. And I do my own ritual of sort of putting myself in a white light because I'm a highly sensitive person and I absorb energy really easily. And I know it's also really important to not give our energy away willy nilly. It's okay to share your light and share your spark, but you don't want to be depleted. So I surround myself in a beautiful white light and protect myself each and every day. Now, I do change up what I'm thinking and saying in my mind. And I also do believe it is important to just still your mind and breathe and not think or talk. And I'll tell you, that is so challenging for me, as it is for many people. And when I do that, I always get a great idea. I know that's my intuition. I know that that is something that I can access. And I also know that it takes work and time and practice. Those are things that actually do ignite my spark each morning. And I also do try to do some sort of exercise, whether it's yoga or going to the gym or walking, because movement is the thing that really keeps us young, most important. But then I also think meditation, eating right, self-development, all that's important too. But in terms of our intuition, when I'm walking sometimes, I will also get inspiration. So I take my phone and I use the recorder and I talk into it when I get an idea, whether it's something to post a silly motivational minute, or it's an idea for my class, or it's an idea for a podcast host. I love podcasts. Okay. Not a podcast host, for a podcast guest. I love podcasts. I am a podcast obsessed human and I'm always listening to them because I love learning, as I said, and I love using my intuition to help move me forward. I mean, think about how important your intuition is. You can go into a room and have a negative feeling, and that's your intuition telling you that there's something or someone in there that isn't right for you. And then you can go into a room and it's lit up and sparkling and joyful, and you love walking into it. That's your intuition. I use my intuition for a lot of things. I really do. It was my intuition that led me to create my offering, How to Ignite Your Spark in Midlife and Beyond. And I really just wanted to reach more women and share the information I have learned, well, through my decades in my current earth suit. And who knows, maybe there's some past things from past lives that have come out in this class, but I've done a lot of reading and a lot of learning. I am a certified Kaizen Muse creativity coach. I had my own fashion show production company for 20 years. I was in fashion and I was in advertising and marketing, and I've done all of those kind of things, and I've learned a lot. And I just knew that with the podcast, I wanted to take it further. So I also have launched a speaking career. I love leading workshops for women, and I wanted to have a program. And I haven't really talked about it that much on this podcast, but I just want to tell you about it. If you know someone or you are a woman in midlife and beyond, and you really want to up your game to become a more magnificent version of yourself, to become more sparkly, to become happier, to perhaps learn what your purpose and passion is on earth at this time. Now, I don't know this. I just have created this program that has 7 videos and 7 playbooks, I call them, and 7 meditations, guided meditations, and a yoga practice, a little short one, and another interview with a nutritionist, because I think our health, nutrition is so important. I've created this to help you, because we can't, as much as we want someone to tell us, oh, do this, do that. This is your passion. This is your purpose. This is what you need to do. Guess who has to decide? Us. We are the ones who have to look inside and go, oh, and do some exercises and some journaling to figure out, oh, that's what I need. So I've sort of culled it all together and put it into one place. And that's my program. And because I say you're never too old, I mean, I never want to stop. I really don't. So now I'm working on a guided journal. I'm going to write a book. I'm putting it out there in the universe. Okay, it's a guided journal, but it's going to be a book. And it will be called Ignite Your Spark, a guided journal for ... Something I will come up with, hopefully intuitively, very soon. And I have asked my son, the artist, to illustrate it for me. Oh, I'm so excited. So stay tuned for that. Sure, I would love it done yesterday, but it takes time to do all these things. And I am busy. I just keep going. And people say to me, why do you do so much? Well, I just do. I'm not ready to just sit and read a book. And some people do, and that's great. It's just not my personality. And I want to explore more. There's so much. I mean, hey, we're here for a short time, and I want to do as much as I possibly can while I'm here. I also want to make as much of an impact as I can while I'm here. When I touch one person sends me a text saying they loved my podcast, my heart ignites with joy. And some people, and I did this in the beginning, I'd say, oh, well, that was just one person. We have to stop that right in the tracks and go, it was one person. I'm such a big fan of changing the way you say things and changing the way you look at life instead of, I have to do such and such, say, I get to. Or instead of saying, only 10 people said a comment about my podcast, I go, 10 people. That means they could tell 10 people who could tell 10 people who could tell, then tell 10 people. And what's that? That's sparks being ignited. I like to be around happy people. I said that before. I mean, really, don't you? I don't want to walk into a room and be the one who people shy away from because I'm negative Nelly. I want to be the person in the room who shines with joy. And I want to be around other people who shine with joy. I love laughing. I just love being happy. I'm not always happy. I mean, life happens, our sparks get dimmed. And that's also why I call it Ignite Your Spark and have ways to help you ignite your spark, because of course we're not always happy. We all need to take time. We need to take time to nurture ourselves, to grieve when grieving is necessary, to explore our passions, to uncover what lights us up. I'll briefly tell you what the seven modules are in my program. And the first one is Mindset Matters. Change that mindset. Uncover your passion and purpose in this act. And again, there's always exercises to help you. Curate your confidence. Stimulate your self-esteem. Re-examine your relationships. Nurture your body. Re-examine. Oh, I already said that. Creativity to fan the flames. And my last module is celebrate you. I'm doing this because I want transformation. I want transformation for women. I want them to find compassion for themselves, to give themselves or yourself grace on this journey to rediscover who you are and find the spark inside. I want you all to illuminate and shine. I want you to feel an increased sense of worth and be valued with higher self-esteem. I want you to pat yourself on the back every single day and say, I am great. I accomplished this. I am beautiful. I am strong. I want you, them, they to come out of this program with ideas that will help you move forward to ignite your spark. I also want women to know, women, you are not alone on this journey, and you have a lot of life to live and give. I want you all to feel better about yourselves and more confident, to take new tools and help you on your healing journey, emotional, physical, and spiritual. I want you to wake up each and every day with a smile, if you can, and have something to focus on, to look forward to. I believe by the end of this program, anyone will have an increased sense of self, and your spark will be shining. Your soul will be alive with a sense of purity, with a sense of purpose and curiosity about what is out there for you. Thank you all for listening to my solo episode. If you do want to enroll in my program, I'm asking you to please send me an email to kimduffselby@gmail.com, linked below as well. And because you are an Ignite Your Spark listener, I will be giving you a special discount. So please just mention that you heard me on my podcast. Thank you so much for listening to me, for tuning in or to watching this on YouTube. Please share this if you got value out of it or any of my podcasts. And if you have not yet subscribed, I hope you will do so. Give me a great rating and share it, of course, with your friends, because that is how we ignite sparks. As Marianne Williamson said, when you shine your light, you are giving others permission to do the same. Now, that's not exactly what she said. It's what I take from it. And wouldn't we all like to ignite more sparks? I know I would, because the world needs your light. Thank you for shining. I'll see you next time.